All right, let's talk about how to use the new tracker. We have made some updates to it. It should be on your desktop like this. It should already be downloaded and ready to go. If not, go back and find that video, get it downloaded, and then come back to this one. You want to open up this folder. You're going to have all of your trackers for each month in here. You're going to want to double click on January. It's going to open it up, and it will look just like this. One of the things I like to do is if I highlight this information here, as you can see, then go to View and Zoom to Selection. It makes it fit your screen. You don't have to, but it makes it a little easier. You can do that on each page. So some of the changes right here on the first page, your inquiry page, we've added a shortcut or a key to the different how found codes. It makes it easier. You don't have to, new people or, if you have some people who can't remember all these codes, you don't have to keep flipping back here to the how found and find the code and then come back here. So that's one change. The other change you will notice is right over here. This is the new move-in tracker. So you've got who took the inquiry, the date, the customer name, all the same information over here. The changes you will notice are right here. This is the person who actually performed the move-in when the customer comes in. So let's say that Scott took this. You would put ST. And let's say that Gary is the one who moved him in. We would put GS here. And then did you collect the admin fee? Did you collect insurance, your auto pay, how much merchandise? Did you give a rate adjustment or a discount? All that information goes here now instead of a separate tab. That's the biggest change on this page, and it is a big change, but we think this is going to make it quicker and easier to do your tracking. Next tab over is your follow-up. Again, you can zoom to selection, and here's all your information about follow-up. And everybody knows it hasn't changed at all other than we've got the codes up here. Size needed, still basically the same thing. This is where each month, at the end of the month, you want to check and make sure your inquiries here match the number of inquiries you have here. And you're going to want to make sure your move-ins match the number of move-ins you've had. Okay? Pretty easy. Next tab over is the how found. This one has changed quite a bit. So we're going to jump into this one. This top part hasn't changed. You're still going to want to look and you're going to want to make sure that your inquiries match here to your inquiries on page 1. And you're going to want to make sure that your rented matches how many spaces you've rented. And this will be the overall information for that month. How many move-ins, how many move-outs, negative units, how many total units you have occupied, how many inquiries you've had. That's all going to total here. So you can just kind of double check those and make sure all your information is correct. This section is for last year. Okay? So in January, when you start this tracker, you're going to want to pull up December's tracker from last year and enter all of this historical information for each month. This will give you an opportunity to compare last year to this year on a month-by-month basis and just kind of see how your store is trending. So you'll put in the number of move-outs, the number of move-ins and move-outs here. It'll automatically give you your negative or positive units. You're going to put in how many self-storage, RV, if you have any, and wine units you have, and it'll tell you your total units occupied, put in your number of inquiries from last year, and it'll give you your closing ratio so you can just kind of keep tabs as a month-by-month basis as to how your store's trending. This next section is very important. You're going to want to pull out your budget that you received for 2019 and enter all that information for each month in January. So go ahead in January and fill out January, February, March, all the way across. This will autofill the places it needs to, so you don't have to keep typing this information in every month. Okay? So put in what your budget for move-ins, what your budget for move-outs is. Put in how many units you're supposed to have occupied. Put in how many inquiries you're supposed to have. And down here, put in the dollar amounts of each of these budget line items that you're supposed to get in January, February, all the way across. But do this in January for every month. Okay? You don't need to put it in every tracker because it'll autofill going forward. You just have, in January, you have to put this all into January's tracker all the way across, okay? Next tab here is going to be the store summary. The only thing you need to worry about here is putting in the initials of your manager, assistant manager, and then you're going to want to make sure that those match the initials that you use here, okay? So for me, I would put RJ here, and I would put RJ here, okay? This will track our percentages of admin fees, insurance, locks, everything all the way down, and give us all the information we need for KPIs each month, okay? You don't have to fill anything in here other than initials. This will auto-populate now. And your next tab is your KPI tracking. So here it's basically the same thing. You got your move-ins, move-outs, inquiries. This is what your total is going to be, and this is the budget. Now these numbers will autofill from this page here. So as long as you fill this out the first time, you won't have to worry about filling any of this out in another month. Okay, it'll autofill for you. So the end of week 1, put in how many move-ins, move-outs, inquiries you had. Put in how many units were occupied. This item right here, this line right here, this is for the total number of units you have available to rent. Okay? If your facility has 365 units, put that in. If you've rented 350, it will tell you your occupancy percentage all the way across. Here you've got your auto pay customers, how many people are on auto pay, how many are on insurance, and then your basic item. None of this has changed. So still put your insurance commissions, your truck income, your box and retail, your late fees, your admin fees, storage rent, total rent, how many discounts that week, and what your percentage of ARs is. So none of that's changed. If you have questions about any of these items, right down here, a quick little summary of how to find what you need for this section up here. Okay? And the next one is your competition comparison, your comp survey. This hasn't changed either. So you just enter our store, what are we selling at, and then put in your particular competitors and what theirs are. This needs to be updated once a month. And the rest of this, none of this else has changed. You still have your bonus calculation, your accrual. So all of that'll still be there. That's all that we've changed. If you have any questions, you can get a hold of your training manager or district manager. There will also be contact information for myself on the email that comes out. And that's about it for this one. Thank you all.